everyone. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And now I am back at you again with another DIY project. So this one is going to be a circle centerpiece. I've done one of these before, but with a hula hoop. And now we're going to be doing one with a floral craft ring. So this is from Michaels, and I believe, let me see what size this is. So it's 18 inches. It's an 18-inch wooden floral craft ring. So we're going to be using this. We are also going to be using one of these boxes from the Dollar Tree. Art, I guess they call them boxed art, okay? And you can always find these at the Dollar Tree. They're pretty easy to find. I think they're still carrying these, so we're going to be using one of these. We're also going to be using some cable ties, some zip ties. You can get this also from the Dollar Tree. You're going to need some type of knife, okay? And I dedicate this knife specifically for all my crafts. You are also going to need some floral foam, okay? And so this is a huge block of floral foam. I love to purchase these things. This size is 19. It's actually 12 by 18, okay? And just to already I did some prep work already, so I already cut out a piece of this, okay, for this project. So I'm going to put that there to the side. You're going to need you can get this in any color, but I love to pick up the white pool noodles. You can find these at the Dollar Tree. And I've already cut this down to size. I've cut this down to 30 inches, okay? So I've already cut it. And all you have to do is just use your knife. And then go ahead, once you cut this, split it in half with your knife. So just go straight down the center and just cut it in half, just like that. And once you do that, it will open up, okay? And you will have a way to actually get this onto our wooden craft ring. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. So this will open right up once you split it in half, okay? And you're also going to need some spray paint. You can purchase the spray paint of your choice. I'm going to be using Rust-Oleum metallic silver, so I'm going to be using that. So let's go ahead and get into this DIY, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, and I've already cut my piece down to size, okay, so that it fits perfectly inside of our box, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it and put it right inside the box. All right, so as you can see, I've already cut down my floral foam to fit inside of my box, okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my hot glue gun. Make sure you use Arrow hot glue, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple of drops inside of the box so that I can get the styrofoam to adhere. So I'm not going to go too crazy with it, just a little bit. And then I'm just going to sit this down in there like that. And I'm going to go ahead and switch camera views now, guys. Okay, so I have hot glued my styrofoam inside of my box. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a marker and just kind of mark the center. Because I like to try to do things as neatly as possible. So I just kind of mark the center, okay. And then I'm going to take my wooden craft circle and I'm going to push this down into the styrofoam. I'm going to kind of rock back and forth. And then once I've done that and I've made an indentation, I'm going to go ahead and start cutting just a little bit to just make some room. So as you can see, I made just an indentation here. I took out some space right there so that I can kind of figure out how to get this entire thing down in there. And I'm just going to kind of mark where I need to be cutting. Okay guys, so this is what it's looking like. I have continued to take my ring and just kind of push it down in there and just kind of rock back and forth and just do it as hard as I can so that I can kind of get an area where I know that I can push this down in there and then put a bunch of glue on top of it. Okay, so that's what that's looking like right now. All right, so as you can see, it's sitting right in there right now, so it just needs to be secured with some hot glue. Okay, because there's a little bit of play in there, so it needs to be secured. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my hot glue and I'm going to start putting glue in here. I actually kind of stuffed some styrofoam back in here because I felt like I pulled out too much. So now I'm going to press this down in there. Okay. And I'm going to take a piece of extra styrofoam. And I'm going to make some small pieces. I'm going to put some hot glue in here where there's gaps. And I'm going to fill those gaps in with styrofoam to make it nice and tight. Alright guys, so if you can see that I have stuffed a bunch of excess floral foam into the gaps, okay? And this is very, very important. This is a step that you absolutely don't want to miss. Same thing on the other side. I put some extra styrofoam, just kind of pressed it right down in there to close up all the gaps, okay? And this is what you want to do. You have to do this because if not, you will have a lot of play in your centerpiece. And now I have absolutely no play in it. It's not moving. It's nice and stiff. It's perfect. This is a tried and true method I use with all of my centerpieces. If you ever see somebody doing this, they stole it from me, because there are some straight up thieves on YouTube that will steal your technique and act like they came up with it themselves. So, but if you see this technique, this is something that I have been doing for a long time on YouTube. Okay, so there we are. We've got the extra pieces of styrofoam stuck in there, and now our centerpiece is not moving. It's not going anywhere. Okay guys, so now that we have our circle attached to our base, I freaking love this already, guys. I absolutely love this. And if I did not say this, of course we want to do this in a diamond pattern. You don't want to do it in square pattern, but actually have it as a diamond, okay? And I think that's a nice little effect to have it that way. I think that looks cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach our pool noodle. And remember, we cut our pool noodle in half all the way through the entire pool noodle. We cut this with our knife, with our handicraft knife, okay? And so now we're going to go ahead and go to our next step, which is to put the pool noodle onto our craft circle. And remember, we cut this already with our crafty knife. And we're going to go ahead and attach this now. And what you want to do is try to get it as even as possible. And once you determine where it's supposed to be, go ahead and start using your zip tie. Okay guys, so once you get your zip ties on there, then you want to go ahead and just cut the excess. Don't cut too much of it. The flowers will cover this up, but just go ahead and cut the excess off with the flower cutter, okay? with a flower wire cutter. Okay, so there we have it. Okay guys, so we are really close to our goal now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this outside and apply some Rust-Oleum spray paint to this, and I will be right back. Okay guys, so our centerpiece has been painted. So I painted it silver. It didn't paint so great, okay. So what I did is I went to my tried and true method of covering up things that don't look so hot. I used the Dollar Tree diamond wrap, adhesive diamond wrap for this, okay. And I used it all along the bottom here. So as you can see, I took it all the way around. Okay, so that looks awesome, looks so good. And then I really don't like the paint job on this. Plus we need to cover up these holes. So I want to cover the holes up. And there's some little sticker adhesive still on there that I really didn't clean off that well. And this type of wood doesn't really paint that great. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of this loose diamond wrap. This is not adhesive diamond wrap. And I've gone ahead and cut 2 strips. And I'm just going to start this and go all the way around and start wrapping this thing around with my hot glue. Okay, so we are done with the embellishments, guys. So I have the adhesive diamond wrap on the bottom, and then I have like the very loose regular diamond wrap that I wrapped around the circle right there, and you guys can see that. Let me get a close-up. And so that came out awesome. I love it, and that's a great way to cover up those holes as well so that they won't show. So we have a really solid product here. This looks amazing. Now all I have to do is go ahead and add the flowers. Alright guys, so I bought some flowers out of my stash, and I think that I'm going to go with this color combination. So I'm going to use some white hydrangeas, and these are some that I got from Michael's a while back. I'm also going to be using some pink roses, and I'm going to be using some hot pink cabbage roses, and then some purple roses. I think I really like this color combination, and so I'm going to work these into my centerpiece. Okay guys, so we are done here. This came out absolutely fabulous. I have finished doing the flowers. What I basically did was just kind of frame the outside with different types of roses and the cabbage roses. So I did that on the outside. I used some cheaper flowers up at the top, on the top of the pool noodle. Okay, so much cheaper flowers up at the top, the same flowers on the back, and then I worked my hydrangeas in on the bottom, and I did not put any hydrangeas up here, okay, because I just thought it looked weird. I felt like I just needed to keep it all flowers up top, and then just use the hydrangeas at the bottom. And then what I did was I took these little roses, and I think I got these from AliExpress. I believe I bought these from AliExpress, and I made sure that I took the green part off, the leafy green part, and then I just pushed them right in to the geraniums. And then I have a brooch here. You know, this is my signature I always put a brooch on my centerpieces. So this is one that I got, I think I got this from AliExpress. And then what I did is I just put a silver metal piece on here, and then I just use some hot glue to just kind of make sure that it stays secure. And then you can just take this and push this right in on the at the very top of the pool noodle, and it will sit in there nicely. Also, I want to mention that when you're putting your flowers into the pool noodle, when you're sticking it into the pool noodle, you want to make sure that the stem is like really short. Okay, if you guys can see that. Don't want it to be too long because you don't have a lot of room to push the flowers in. You have very minimal room to push those flowers in, so you want to make sure that your stem is not too long. And I'm not really sure if you can use hot glue. Honestly, I did not use hot glue, but I'm not sure that you can use hot glue with this type of material that the pool noodle is made out of. I know there is a glue that you can use, but I don't know that you can use hot glue. So I will link that glue in the description box below. But that's it, guys. Another successful project. Okay, guys, so our project is completed, and I think this came out absolutely gorgeous. It is so beautiful. This is a project that is flower intensive. You do need a lot of flowers, but you can always go Dollar Tree. You can use foam flowers. You can do really economical flowers. You do not have to do flowers out of the craft store. If you decide to do that, you can always go the AliExpress route and pick up really cheap flowers. And you can also just kind of sort of use these particular centerpieces as maybe every other table, or maybe just 3 center tables, just to kind of draw interest. So you don't have to put it on every single table. These can just be the wow factor ones where you put them on 2 or 3 tables only. So you make like maybe 4 of them, okay? But I think this came out awesome. Really love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. As always, don't forget to hit me up on social media, on IG, on Facebook. Make sure you hit my social media accounts, guys, when you have an opportunity. And of course, please rate the video so that I can get into the algorithm and people can find these really great DIYs that they can do on the cheap, okay? So that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.